Hello friends, you can see the table here. I'm going to read out hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulphur, chlorine, argon. What are these? These are the small symbols, and I am naming some elements which are being represented by these symbols. Here it is written periodic table. Yes, you are right. I'm going you to, I'm going to take you back to the school days where we have studied periodic table under chemistry. Here various elements are being arranged in a table, and now today I'm going to discuss a new concept, how periodic table elements are helpful in homeopathy to recognize a remedy. So, periodic table and homeopathy. Why should we learn about this? We should learn about this only when, in a case, after giving medication for months and years, in the traditional way of prescription, if a patient doesn't improve or doesn't get cured, then we have to think out of box. We have to try some newer technique which may help the patient in getting the recovery. Periodic table was being given by Mendeleev in the year of 1863, where he published for the first time, and he has arranged the elements in the increasing order of their atomic mass. And he said that as we move forward in the rows and columns, we find that the physical and chemical properties of these elements are reappearing in the table. So this is also reflected in the character of elemental and mineral homeopathic remedies. Homeopathic remedies have got 6 sources of drugs, out of which one is the mineral. So from these elements and minerals also we prepare medicine. These elements or minerals, when undergo the process of potentization or dynamization, they can be converted into homeopathic remedies. However, these are not very commonly used ones because it needs a deeper understanding about the properties of the elements and minerals, as well as the symptomatology of the case in depth. All the elements we find in the periodic table are not being used for preparing homeopathic medicine, but many of these elements are being used. The Russian homeopath John Scholten is the first person to give this concept that the elements of the periodic table does bear a similar relationship to the stages of human development and hence the symptoms of a disease or patient. In layman's language, we can say when we find the symptoms of a case which are similar to the properties of a given element, we can think of giving that. Even before, Mendeleev also has told that each row elements, these are the rows, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, like this 7 rows are there. And each row elements have got some common properties or common theme. Similarly, each column elements also have got some common theme. However, there are distinguishing features from element to element that we will discuss here, how we can distinguish these. After John Sholton, Dr. Rajan Sankaran is a Mumbai-based homeopath from India. He has further worked on this concept and evolved it as a sensation method. Besides him, there are many more homeopaths as of now who have found great success by using this concept, and day by day their clinical experience is adding to the evolution of this concept too. Coming to the practical point, we will discuss the first element, hydrogen. H is the first element, hydrogen. What is the theme here? What is the common theme in the row 1? The common theme is existence, notice. The patient says that I am not being noticed by my family members. I am totally abandoned. I am having a forsaken feeling, estranged feeling, isolated feeling, or lonely feeling. The elderly parents, when they complain of this, that they are being estranged by the children and they are not being given any importance in the family, so then we can think of this hydrogen or helium. In the repertory, we very well find these remedies under such rubrics of abandoned feeling. Row 2, lithium. We will start with the lithium. Lithium is a stage where self-existence is not a question. The person knows very well that I am existing, but there is a total dependence on a different person, maybe a mother or a wife or somebody else. Totally dependent. The person cannot think of his own self existence without the other person. Always in every matter, he wants the other person to be there besides him. This is a lithium is a very good remedy. Lithium carb is the homeopathic remedy we use, usually for the rheumatoid heart disease, the rheumatism, or the after suppressed rheumatism when the cardiac problems start. We can think of this lithium carb remedy. So the emotional state will be something similar to what mentioned now, totally different, dependent on a different person. Next element is beryllium. Beryllium. In beryllium, the dependency is there, but not totally. Slight detachment or slight separation is there. Here the person says, I can do something with the other person. Alone I cannot do, but I have the ability to do, but I need the cooperation from the other person. I can improve the business if my partner is there with me. I can excel in my job if that superior is there with me. Without that person, I cannot excel in my job. The cases of failure of love or after disappointment in love, the emotional breakdown happens. Those cases can be taken under this beryllium. Next element is boron. Boron here, the identity itself is confused. Whether I am totally dependent on the other person or I can do something, I can try of my own. I am not sure whether I can succeed if I try something of my own. So, symptoms we find: fear of falling down, fear of descending down, fear of crossing a bridge, always clinging to the mother. There is a vertigo while looking down, or even there are dreams of falling down. Because always I need the support, even though I exist myself, I have the ability to do something of my own, but whether I can do it or not, that is the boron. Then carbon. From carbon we have got carbo-veg, carbo-animalis, then um, ammon carb, carbolic acid. All these are the medicines prepared from carbon. Carbon has got no confusion about identity and all. He has the ability to start a work on his own. Even though I am abandoned, I can do of my own. But can I manage by myself? I can start, I can do, but can I go a long way myself? So if something new comes, then he has a fear. Fear of taking a new task, fear of going to a new place, fear of getting a new experience, fear in a strange place. Then we can think of the remedies from carbon. Then is the nitrogen. Nitrogen is a free gas. It's a lighter gas. It wants to float free. It wants to flow above. It doesn't want any boundary. So when there is a bounding feeling, bound feeling, the the child says, my parents are overprotective. I do not have freedom to express my feelings. I am totally bound. I have a restricted lifestyle. Later on, develop symptoms like claustrophobia, fear of narrow space, difficult to cross from one bogie to other bogie in a train. There is a trapped feeling. I cannot go anywhere out. This is my life. These are the boundaries of my life. So there is a much discomfort feeling is calling for nitrogen. Next comes oxygen. Oxygen, it's nearly suffocated feeling. I cannot bear with this relationship anymore. I want to break free. I want to go out. I cannot breathe easily. I cannot take this relationship anymore. That is called oxygen. I am feeling I am choked. That is the feeling of oxygen. Oxygen, also we have a remedy called ozone. Oxygen is O2 and ozone is O3. So we have a homeopathic remedy from ozone also, and there the symptoms is quite more vigorous than oxygen. There is a great heaviness feeling around the head and a more violent feeling than the oxygen. Then we think of ozone. Next element is fluorine. Fluorine is coming under the rare elements, fluorine. Fluorine, what does it happen? He wants to break the rules. He wants to break the rules. In oxygen, he doesn't want to break rules within the limit, but he wants some freedom. Freedom to talk, freedom to speak, freedom to go do the desires, aversions, and freedom to live the life. But it is not beyond the discipline. But here in the fluorine, he wants to break the normal discipline, normal rules of life. I am young. I want to attend the parties. I want to go out alone. The parent should not involve in any of my lifestyle changes or any of my judgments. Complete freedom should be there. Whether I am right or wrong, I should not be told about it. There is a groundless fear of poverty. There is precocity. Precocity means the early experiments of sex in case of a child of 7 years, 8 years doing sexual experiments, precocity. In addition to this, we find the nails are defective or malabsorption of calcium, the bones also having defect, the the strength of the bone is less, or the bone pain at night, growing pain, or the undeveloped bony structures or late development of bones, all that indicates to our fluorine. We have a very good remedy called calcarea fluor. Calcarea fluor, we think of that remedy when all these nail, bone, all these defects will be there. Along with that, there is a hot feeling. The urine is hot inside. Internally, there is a hot feeling physically, and there is a fear of losing money. Calcarea fluor is a remedy. From fluorine, we prepare calcarea fluor. Also, we have fluoric acid. Two remedies are there. Fluoric acid we think of when there is excessive growth of nail. The nail grows every week. Every week we have to cut the nail. And the hair also grows very fast. Once in 15 days we have to cut the hair of the boy. So that is called acid fluor. Next comes neon. Neon is coming under the free gas column, neon. Neon, what happens? Neon is quite content. Here there is dissatisfaction in oxygen, nitrogen, fluorine, and here there is a confusion, and here there is a lack of identity. Fear, here there is a fear of separation, and here there cannot be a question of separation, totally dependent. But in case of neon, neon means the child is in his own world. No fear of separation, no fear of identity, no fear of poverty. doesn't have any wish to enjoy the life further by breaking the rules and all. He is totally content. Whatever he is in, he is satisfied. The attention deficit children, ADD children, hyperactive children often comes under this. So here we can see from the lithium to neon how the behavioral structure is getting changed. This is about the row 2. Now coming to row 3, sodium. Sodium is again totally emotionally dependent, just like lithium, totally dependent upon another personality, including the choices, the food, what I will eat, the clothes, what I will wear, the place where I will go, the shoes, what I will wear, the color of the nail paint, what I will use. All that, for everything I want the mother's decision or mother's permission or mother's choice I will rely on. So that is called sodium. Totally dependent on someone else. Next is the magnesium. Magnesium is a long repressed emotion. The man has lost the mother around 20 years back, 30 years back. In some corner of the mind, that emotion remains repressed. He did not express about his grief in front of others, kept it in the corner of the mind somewhere. Because of that, he has a fear of losing the loved ones. That is why he doesn't want to displease the loved ones to others. He cannot displease others. He's going to a party and he cannot eat something what he likes. Rather, he will ask his friends that, yes, do you like this? Then I will also have it. This is called the magnesium. Prolonged repressed emotion. The man has lost the mother long back. Now, still, even after 20, 30 years, he thinks that yes, I should get a motherly affection from a lady, expecting that one. This is called magnesium. Then is aluminium. Aluminium is the same as the previous one, confused about the self, confusion about the identity. Can I do it on my own, or I have to depend upon someone else? That is the aluminium. Silicon. Silicon, we prepare a medicine called silicia from the silicon. From magnesium, we have magnesia carb, magnesium mure, like that. From the sodium, we have sodium chloride, that is natrum mure, all that. Now from silicon, silica patient, silicia patient is quite obsessive about his self-image. My image should not get tarnished. I should not do anything by which my image should get damaged. I should do it well so that my image remains protected. I should wear like this the dress so that my image comes good. The others will appreciate my dress. I should talk in this way so that the others will recognize about myself. So that recognition, getting self recognition or self image management is very important in silica. Quite different from the next element, phosphorus. Phosphorus, here the choices are very clear. The child expresses his own choices. I want to wear this color dress. I want to go to that mall. I want to eat that food. I have to go this way. So very clear-cut expression the child will have, which is quite unexpected of his age, that is phosphorus. And there is a feeling that the parents do not understand me properly, but my friends understand me. So the friends are bigger supporters for me than the parents. Even though parents will be loving, but that feeling will be there. That is phosphorus. Coming to sulfur, it is further different in terms of the ego. Here, the person has achievements. He has achieved many things, reputation, occupational achievement, etc., etc. So there is an ego within, and he wants everybody to appreciate that. And he talks about the self-ego. I have achieved this much. I have got this much. I am the only person who has the ability to do this. That is the ego. He talks about himself. So there is a difference between sodium and sulfur. In case of sulfur, the patient says, yes, long back when I did not have anything, you have not recognized me. But today I have everything, so you must recognize me. That want of appreciation with self-ego is sulfur. But in case of sodium, no question of ego and all. Just he wants someone to take care of him. Emotionally, he is dependent upon someone. But here in sulfur, there is no dependency. So this is how the various elements of periodic table can be thought of for giving a homeopathic prescription. If you like this, then you can subscribe here. Thank you very much for listening to me.